as children.
Wow, it was
It's
special.
pretty magical, right?
Yeah, yeah. Our parents made it really, really special. Yeah.
You guys remember the little sleigh that Anna would put
Oh,
under
yeah.
the tree with those presents wrapped in foil?
Yeah.
I remember the punching bag. Gary always got a punching bag. We always look forward to that punching bag.
Oh my God.
My parents would never put the tree up
Until the night before.
until the kids had gone to bed on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
When we were real little.
So when they
Yes, we would pull it apart.
they'd go to bed and there'd be no tree, nothing in the living room. And my uncle, Harold Poppins' kids, they'd come over, and when I got older, when I was 12, 13,
That's
they
who's
were
there.
small. Yeah, then we'd all build the tree. And you have to build it one night and put together all the toys.
Stay up
And you
till-
have that, you get all that done on Christmas Eve. Meanwhile, Mom and Harold would be drinking in the kitchen.
Right.
They'd wake up to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and not believe how many presents there were. I was just awestruck. And then it would all be done, and I'd go, "Is that it? Is that all?"
Here, do you remember Dad tying his tie to the
To the
So we
door.
couldn't get
To
out.
the
our
bathroom.
bathroom door
Bathroom
to our door so we couldn't get out?
And I'm in there because I have to take care of these three. So I'm in there taking care of them, not realizing that Dad had tied the door shut
Someone got a
with
key.
his tie, and he's tied it to the other doorknob from the other room. So we couldn't get out. And it went on, and Christmas didn't come, and nobody was opening the door. And I had to go to the bathroom really bad.
Oh,
And by the time that door opened,
I'll believe them.
there was a puppy. That's why he had
Aww.
a puppy in the living room. But I didn't see the puppy. I just ran to the puppy.
And then
There was always, and there was
That was
always
very special.
Aunt Loretta
it was always there.
always there. Yeah, she spent Christmas with us after
Yep.
Grandpa and Grandma died.
remember when he bought Mom the piano and we had to go to Helen Kruger's?
Oh yeah.
That I'll never forget her face.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What do you guys
And she
think?
could
that-
sit down and play that piano too.
Oh
Sure
God.
could.
With
We were like, how'd you learn how to do this?
she could just
I
play
taught
by ear.
myself.
Here's
I
number
taught
two, and
myself.
she can play it.
Do you remember going to Dad's candy truck and getting Babe Ruths that were so old they were white and we kept eating them? But remember when we went Christmas caroling in that truck?
Oh
You were there. We went Christmas caroling. So Dad's driving, Mom's here, Margie's here, Gary's here, and I'm behind them. And they're all singing Christmas carols, and I'm trying to sing, and they go, "Shut up, Carolyn!" Oh my
yeah.
God.
Oh.
And we'd be throwing candy out to people.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Christmas was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh
was a
yeah.
big
It
deal.
was a big deal.
Well, it continued to be a big deal for all of our families.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's more and more people
Right.
started to show up at Nana's at 9 o'clock or whatever it was.
Play games
Right.
and-
And, oh, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
We played games on Christmas night. Do you guys remember this?
Oh yeah. After dinner.
Gary uttered the phrase, "Oh, that guy was an asshole." Do you remember this? It was. Remember, Charlene and I got in an argument.
Oh, yeah.
But
What
that was,
game was that?
I,
That was
to tell the truth.
I
I
had
don't
to
know.
tell the truth.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
like that. I remember my question. It was somebody that made a pass at Nancy, or Nancy had dated earlier, and you guys
Oh
got
no!
into
Would
it.
you pay for them to go through college?
Yes,
That's
yes,
what it
that,
was.
That was my question,
Oh.
Good question.
and Charlene
Is
thought
there
that I would say
anything?
no, and I said yes, and that was a whole big thing. But this was about somebody who Nancy had dated or made a pass at her. And you guys got into it a little bit, and
if
you ended
somebody
up saying,
made a
"That
pass
guy
at
was
you."
an asshole."
If somebody
And you
made a
got up
pass
and
at
walked in the
Nancy.
kitchen.
Oh.
Sounds just like my father.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
I didn't tell you till
Oh
later.
yeah.
You know, how would you react? And you said he would be,
I got a little hot.
fired down.
A little.
Gary, when he answered, blew his top. It was a hypothetical question, but he blew his top. He said, "Yeah, and I'd kill him. I'd do it." Yeah.
It becomes
That
real.
game lasted one Christmas. It was.
I think that was your last question.
He ended
They
it.
asked one question of
She
each
realized
other.
this
If
is
you
not
paid for
good.
her to go to college, and she went to college, and after college she dropped you,
Would you want your
sue
money
her?
back?
Would you sue her for the money back?
Drove to Appleton to see me play. How's it go about that?
You guys drove to Appleton and continue.
He was
He
playing.
had a
in App-
Lando top,
He was playing
Oh my
in Appleton, Wisconsin.
the Foxes.
And I had an Oldsmobile with a nice Lando top, and Mary and I said, let's go, Mary. We spend the weekend, you know. So we drove north to Wisconsin. We kept hearing this noise. I pulled off. I said, what can that be? We're looking all around the car.
We're looking at the tires.
And then we realized the top of the roof, the
starting
Lando
to
part
come
of my
off.
roof, is
Peeled
coming
off.
It's starting to peel off.
That's
I said, well, Appleton's only about, we've only got about 8 more miles, We're on I-94, which is a highway.
So
It's
Marilyn,
only got
sit
eight-
on the window and
I
hold
said,
it.
Mare, get out there and hold the top. So she's,
Hold it.
and I'm holding the top from the driver's side, and we're trying to drive. We're both coming out of the seat.
And did you get a ticket?
Finally, yes, I did.
You did get a ticket.
Now, after I get my ticket, because now I'm speeding, and I get my ticket, now I rip the Landau right out. I just I ripped the whole thing off, threw it in the trunk, and we kept going to your ball game.
They did, and what's ironic about that night was the guy that was supposed to pitch had a sore arm. So I was like a long reliever. They said, you're pitching tonight. And they show up, and I did really well until like the 6th or 7th inning, and then they put we were winning like
You were
5
winning.
to 1 or 5 to nothing.
You were winning, they put somebody in.
They put Mike Dempsey in, who played at North Carolina. He played basketball. There was a huge guy. He was as big as Dave. And I'm down in the dressing room, and they're icing my arm. And Steve comes down into the dressing room, and we're hearing all this screaming and yelling,
Noise.
And Harold Baines is a rookie there playing,
Oh, yeah.
and Orestes Minoso was playing on that team, and they were hearing all this stuff. And Dempsey comes in and he throws his glove and he goes, "Sorry, Halsey," and we were losing 6-5 at that point.
Ouch.
Yeah,
So
but
Who's
they
the best
scored
player
4
you ever
runs
played
off
with?
of him, but 2 were credited to me because they were on
They were
base
on
when he
base.
came in.
Uh,
But that
Yeah,
was,
definitely.
and then we slept in the same hotel room. I don't know if they remember that.
the ticket cost so much money that now we only had money for one hotel
So,
room.
so we all slept
All of
together.
us had to sleep together in the hotel room.
Yeah, that's true.
And the best
Aw.
player you ever played with?
Well, Molitor
Paul
for sure.
Molitor, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Danny Ainge played in the league. Dave Stewart played in the league.
Oakland?
Harold Baines.
Sox.
There was several pretty good.
Good
Mike
ones.
Sosha played in the league. There was several.
LA?
Several. But of all the guys that played, that's just a handful that went to the big league.
As you look back on things, what are you most thankful for?
Oh God, my family for
My
sure.
mom.
Yeah.
Told you
You know,
I'd let you get to it.
yeah. No, these guys for sure, and my mom and dad. Yeah.
I have a question. So what, inside that, what do you guys feel like yourselves or each other have that were your dad or your mom? Like you can see, oh my gosh, Margie's just like my dad in this way, or Steve's just like my mom in this way. What, are there any that you guys see your parents and each other?
Just the heart
Humor
and the love that they
and-
had. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Is
Yeah, Mom was always very proud.
But what traits do you guys have that you got from them?
well,
Optimism.
the three of them have mom's sense of humor, I think. She had quite a sense of humor.
Yeah,
My
she
dad
did.
really didn't have a sense of humor. I'm more like him in that way. The three of them are with mom.
Yeah, sense of humor
Goofier.
was big.
Dad said
I
she
have
was like,
mom's musical talents and dad's too.
and mom was very faithful too. So I think that rubbed off on
Yeah,
everybody.
mom was the one that talked to us about Jesus.
Yeah, I
Right.
saw Bible
And
in
Aunt
here.
Loretta. You know, Loretta brought us
Loretta.
to church, but Mom talked to us.
But your dad
You
accepted
been
it
told to do? Oh, and I was always in
in
trouble.
the end.
I was always in trouble.
Yeah.
In the very end,
In the end. But I found out he knew a lot more than we realized he did. His family was Christian Science, and so when I became a Christian in my 30s, he would start quoting scriptures to me, and I was like dumbfounded that he knew those scriptures. But I remember trying to share some of the Bible with him at one point, and he got really annoyed with me. He said, "I'm the father, you're the daughter, I teach you." And then the next day he saw me at the table reading my Bible, and he said, "What are you reading about anyway?" And he
Started.
backed up
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
and let me share some things with him. So
But he said what he meant. I mean, he said what he wanted or what he was thinking. You know, he was not gonna
We did that.
pull punches for anything. You know.
yeah.
he didn't beat around the bush.
No. Nancy, when we first got married, would make this escarole soup, and it's basically dandelion leaves is escarole. And I loved it. I mean, I thought it was just really good. And so he was visiting us in Green Bay, and she made it.
He
and I
liked
said,
everything
Dad,
I cooked, but then that
he
night,
loved everything he cooked. But
He
I
loved
said,
Nancy, yeah.
Dad, you're gonna really like this. And he took one
He didn't.
one spoon and said, I don't like it. I mean, we're just sitting right there. He goes, Nah, I don't like that. I can't eat that.
Because it's like putting like spinach in there. Huh?
Right.
Now some people
even
like
more
it, some
bitterly.
people
Yeah.
don't. Right.
Let's talk about the kid on the table right there. Favorite memories of Keith.
Oh,
Kiki.
We're all missing him
Goofy
today.
Thank you.
ones. Anything that stands out.
You three first. And then let's
besides
hear
telling
me.
you were adopted,
Well, I have
Dad,
way better
remember that
memories of
jester?
Keith than that.
The what?
Remember when he dressed as a jester? When Julie and I put the play on and he was the jester?
Yeah.
walk like a man.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he loved.
Yeah, in Plano. Yeah,
He
and
loved
he loved Joanna. You loved him. You would chase him, but he loved Julie.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
loved
God.
him
and,
too.
And you too.
And you guys put on plays with him all the time.
All
Musical
the
plays.
time.
Yeah,
And we played
Hot
in
lava.
his basement. We played
Hot lava in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
right.
He could have made up that and made some money.
And didn't he
The
play
thing
the
about
same
the thing
drums
about
as
Keith
Dad
that I
did?
remember
Were
is
they different?
Marilyn telling me the story that they were sleeping down in the room that Steve had first, and then I had, and then Keith had it, and he was sleeping down there. And Marilyn loved clowns, and she had this clown that was a mechanical clown, and it would bang these cymbals.
It
You
was
know,
like an antique.
it was like yeah, and so it was up in the windowsill.
Wasn't a monkey.
It was a monkey.
It might have been a monkey, yeah. And one night, the thing just started clapping.
Oh, no.
Keith said he took the stairs like 5 at a
No,
time.
that's not true. It's my bed, and Keith wanted to sleep that night, and we were talking, and he said, "How do you know? How do you hear God?" And I
Oh.
said, "I go, well, you just hear it in your head, bang, bang, bang." Keith was not the first one up the stairs. I left him there, and I'm like, "Whoa!" I thought, he goes, "Mom, and remember when we went to the haunted house, and I left you and Keith. Oh, am I done?
And the
Oh.
ghosts.
She
Some
was
of
gone.
those are scary, but great.
Oh, gosh. That monkey was a funny time.
Well, my favorite memory of Keith was when we were when he came to Florida with us, and I had a girlfriend who had a son, Danny, who was his age, and we went to Key West and we went to snorkeling, and they had so much fun, and we had so much fun. And I think he was with us for about 3 months, not 3 months, 3 weeks.
Still a
And
rocket
he
launch
had a
too, right? Cape
great-
Canaveral.
We went up to Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was, I think, 12 or 13. He wasn't quite a teenager, but right on the brink, probably 12. And we had such a great time with him. It was such a wonderful time.
Used to take him up to the Bears football camp.
Yeah,
We used to go to football camp. We did that for 3 years.
Platteville.
Went up to Platteville, and then we had a really good time there. And that was before life got complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He liked to make
We had a
people
wonderful
laugh.
time there. And he was very honest when we were alone. We'd have really good talks together. And he was very honest.
I remember the
Those
Halloween
are my
parade.
best memories.
Yeah. You remember the Halloween parade that
Farmington?
you guys came to Farmington Hills and he had the mask with the whole uniform on? And though he was marching.
It was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Aww.
We used to, when we were kids, there would be, at Halloween, there would always be a big festival at the park.
Yes,
And,
I
and
love those.
run by the park district. And every year you'd dress up, try to dress up. You'd go over and you'd buy for a prize. If you didn't get a prize, you got a lot of candy, and you know.
Yeah.
And one year, I was way too old for this, but I had to babysit. And Margie, I don't even know if you remember, but you were dressed as Miss America,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
Yes.
and we went to the park, and she won the whole thing.
Aww.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Aww.
I see it right in my mind.
What
And
are
I
your
was a headless horseman. And I won a
Yeah.
prize
That
too.
was,
And then remember the big Martian hat? that Dad-
Yeah.
I won a
Paper
prize.
mache thing.
I
won
did
a
that
prize
with you
for
guys.
That one too.
I know you
Paper
And
did.
Dad put the lights in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I put the paper mache thing on my head.
God.
Dad made those for us. We had to
Yeah.
hold them the whole way.
They were big.
Yeah.
Their heads fitted.
Yes.
What's your favorite memory or favorite thing about your brother since it's his birthday?
Oh,
Come on,
good.
brothers
Good
do.
question. This brother.
no, this brother.
Oh, that's the only brother
This
you had.
brother.
The other
Oh, I
brother.
wish
Only
I
got
had
one.
been a boy.
And
I
you,
thought I
you,
was a boy.
you
for a
guys
long
think
time.
about the same question, but she's asking you guys next. Go ahead, Mary.
Well, they can. When she's done, they can.
My favorite thing about Steve was he was so handsome. I was so proud of him. He was just like the most handsome brother.
We didn't say our parents were sane.
No, you was.
Yeah.
I would probably have to
Their
say.
dad was very handsome too. Papa.
I would probably, at this time of life, I would have to say how emotional he is, as far as love goes, and how acceptance, how he doesn't hold a grudge, and he's accepted me, and you know what? I just thought about it the other day. I told somebody, I said, you know what my brother taught me just recently? Is there's two sides to every story.
Yeah.
I never thought that way,
Yes.
but we've talked about many things, and he has said, Mary, yes, it seems that way, but we haven't heard this side of the story, you know? So that's something just in the past year I've learned.
Aww.
Yeah. You've learned a lot.
I got one question here for all four of you also. Whether it's what was the best advice each one of you? What the best advice you ever received from someone?
Wow.
That's deep, Tom.
I mean, there's a lot of advice for me, but I remember my mom telling me, don't cheat on your spouse. Because that pleasure only lasts a second, and you live with the rest of it. You live with that for your life. And I always thought that was good, really good advice. And she really wanted us to be virgins. And that impressed me as a young kid. I thought that's the right way to go. But yeah, there's probably a lot of good advice. My dad sat me down after my mom got the piano and said, "You should learn how to play the piano." And I thought he was nuts. I was like, I have no interest in that, Dad. But as I got older, I thought, he was right. That would have been
Never
a
too
really
late.
good thing to learn how to do.
Never too late.
He took lessons at what age? What age did he take piano lessons, remember?
He's older.
My dad?
He
65.
was in his 60s, yeah.
Yeah, they came to the house.
Yeah, he was
You
in
can
his
learn,
60s.
Dad.
Go
Huh?
ahead, Steve
You
and
can still
Carol
learn.
and Marge. What was your
It's like
for
learning
Marge,
a language.
what was your good advice?
Yeah. You talking to him?
Steve, what great advice do you remember?
Nana, whoever. What's the best advice you got from someone?
Well, to paraphrase it was, stay true to your friends. Try to be a blessing to someone every day. was said one way or another by both mom and dad. You know, Dad, as rocky as our relationship was, he taught me that much. You know, and mom constantly reinforced that. You know, that once you lose your integrity, you lost
It's hard
it all.
to get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Be as honest as you can be. You know, nobody's 100% honest, but strive to be honest with people. You know, which I think was good advice.
And we see you as someone of integrity, which is why we were attracted to people who had integrity. You know?
Yeah,
So
probably.
you guys have left a really great legacy and
Yeah.
example
Julie
to
had
all
lower
of us
standards.
on who to look for in a mate.
Right.
Did you hear Kyle?
I don't care what kind of
Kyle said that Julie had lower standards than you.
yeah, pretty much. But he grew up.
Oh, Kyle.
Took me a while.
This was really special for all of us.
Super
Yeah,
This was
really
like
cool.
really
Super cool.
neat. One of the coolest things that I think our family has done. If
Yeah.
not the coolest.
Yeah, this
In
is really
terms of
cool.
This group, this is really cool.
It's really
You know why
special.
I think you're right, because I see the children here.
Yeah,
And they wouldn't be here if they weren't interested.
Right.
yeah, it was really neat.
Grant, what do you think?
I think it's interesting.
I bet it is for you, honey.
It's like the olden days.
Yeah, but we have phones that
He
that
says
were
that about
not
me,
just-
so I don't know what he thinks
They
you
didn't
guys
just
real
unfriend
think.
you on
They're all
Facebook. They
still
went
here,
punched you in
you
the
know?
nose back then.
So I didn't
Really
get to
cool.
answer the question of what did we really appreciate about Steve,
Yes.
and
Not much.
Start!
I can't think of anything.
I don't know how to tell you this.
he's just always been such a loyal friend to me.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
came to everything and
Supportive.
yeah,
Through the ball.
supported me.
Through the ball.
You know, yeah. I mean,
It was
made
fun.
me feel like I was better than I was, and I appreciate it.
And that's who we are.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay,
you
let's
guys
end
are
it
so
with a
sweet.
Jerry Lewis impression.
Oh, that's not me.
Or just one face.
Oh,
Brady. Brady.
you guys are so sweet. Good job. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
You're fantastic blowing those out there. She's gonna help you. It's good to get some help. Grace, get some help.
Josh, you want to help?
Go ahead,
Come on,
everybody
you guys
help.
help?
Don't burn it.
Help Uncle Steve.
Finger.
Go
ahead, Elon.
2, 3, 4.
Whoa!